All right, talk about jumping right into the fray. Pope Leo XIV, not Pope for a week, has already lit it up over perhaps the most pressing concern in today's world, excluding abortion, of course, AI, artificial intelligence. He correctly intuits that the nuclear race to install artificial intelligence everywhere is a massive threat to humanity, or better stated, to the dignity of humanity made in the image and likeness of Almighty God. He senses a replacement of that humanity. Our dignity is not just humans, but human persons, human individuals. This is the same underlying principle that Pope Leo XIII fought against so hard when it came to socialism, the underpinning of communism, of course. Socialism devalued people, individuals, by viewing them as nothing more than a social collective. That's where socialism gets its name from. Almost a couple hundred years later, here we are again with another Leo to set the record straight and oppose it with the full weight and power of Catholicism. It's not that AI in itself isn't a bad thing, just sitting there alone by itself. Of course it isn't. It's just a tool. But if it overwhelms mankind and reduces individuals to mere cogs in a wheel, then a neutral thing turns out to be being used for bad ends. The same threat to dignity and justice and human freedom, not to mention jobs, that was posed by the Industrial Revolution back in the 1800s is alive again now. Individual persons don't matter. Christ did not die for humanity. This is a very key theological point here when you spread it out across all the temporal affairs. Christ did not die for humanity, for the human race. He died for every single individual member of the human race. Not a race as a collective, but for each person, one at a time. Not just a collective. Leo sees the very real threat here and is using his moral authority to try and catch up and then get out in front of all of this, if we still have time to be able to do that. AI, as we said, it can be a great tool, but it can never be a replacement for an individual's soul with all that soul's beauty. Period. AI is capable of writing stories, some good ones sometimes, producing art, and in a certain sense, even think, but it cannot do any of that with passion. It cannot love. It cannot emote. It cannot and never will be human. The move, as anyone on social media knows, is to define us by algorithms. That's wrong. Pope Leo may indeed be a man crafted and selected by heaven as a man for the times. Expect to hear much more about this as his very young pontificate takes shape. A lot more. Coming to you from Houston, Texas, I'm Gary Michael Voris. God love you.